welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire from online, and you're watching Disney Channel. It is Black Friday today. I have a couple of videos that are like in the works, I guess you could say, but I've been having issues with my iCloud, and so I'm just gonna upload the thing that I filmed today first. This is more information than you need to know. You're just probably like, why do you have so many Scrippy Scrappies? What is happening? Where do they all go? That is a great question. I would love to share my organizational tips with you. Unfortunately, I do not have many. I do have this awesome Toyo Steel box that I got on sale from Urban Outfitters a month or two ago, and I do enjoy that. I also have a couple of like acrylic plastic bins. But yeah, my paper items and sticker storage solution it definitely just needs some work. So, hello. I have not been to work for over a week now. I had such a nice extended break. I went to Colorado to visit with some friends and some family now too. There are so many people I know that live in Denver. Well, join the club, right? But it was really great. I basically took like a long weekend, and then I drove back to Arkansas on Tuesday. I got home Tuesday night, and I've just been having such a nice cozy break since then. We had a very cozy and quiet Thanksgiving yesterday. Turkey's fine, but what we really like is a good pot roast. So my boyfriend whipped up a pot roast, and then we had some really good mashed potatoes and Sister Schubert's rolls. If you know, you know. I fell down on the job a little bit when it came to the sweet treat situation. My boyfriend did not care at all. We did definitely have I went to Trader Joe's the other day and I got some Brookies brownie and cookies. It's a brownie with like a cookie on top. Whatever. It's good if you've tried it before, you know how good they are. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it. And then we also have ice cream sandwiches. We do love ice cream. But anyway, I like to use Thanksgiving or any holiday as an excuse to try out a new cake or pie recipe, just like personally. Some of my favorites over the years, of course, like an apple pie is really good. Apple cheddar one year, that was tasty. A few years back, it must have been 7 or 8 now, I made like this hot chocolate cake that was so good. It was just so tasty. I think about it all the time. I only made it that one time, but I would have loved to make that. Perhaps I still could this weekend. Maybe I will tomorrow. Something that my boyfriend typically does make, but sometimes he makes it on Christmas instead, is like this Reese's peanut butter cup like icebox pie. It's very chocolatey, very peanut buttery, cold. I think it's like a Oreo cookie crust. It's good. And yeah, I didn't even have a pumpkin pie. I haven't had a pumpkin pie this year. Do I have like pumpkin pie FOMO right now? Anyway, sorry for the lack of introduction, kind of. If you haven't already caught on, this is a nice little journal with me that is going to be, I guess I'm not the first person to ever do this, but I like the idea of, and you all seem to like, this casual, chatty, show your process, journal with me. I talk about whatever's on my mind. I've been, like I said, iCloud issues, but after I've filmed anything over the past month, I took to Instagram and had a question box open for any, I call it like voiceover chats, and so I'll answer some questions that I've been getting, or just address some things that I've seen in my comments and questions that other people have, maybe on TikTok. I think that a lot of people that come over here to watch these videos are coming from my Instagram, and I think that there's a little bit of a disconnection between the people that find me through TikTok. Maybe, I don't know. Tell me where you came here from. More and more, I'm finding out that people are just discovering my videos on YouTube because they're recommended to them because of other people that they watch, which is kind of cool because I feel like for the first 6 months or so, it was solely my Instagram followers, which again is still great. It's just kind of interesting how it's grown. I am celebrating my 1 year on YouTube this weekend. I remember it vividly. Well, it says on my little thing, like I joined on November 27th, 2022. But I remember it was a Sunday night right before I went back to work after Thanksgiving break. And I was like, I'm doing it. I have so much other stuff to do. It was classic like procrastination. And I was like, I'm making a YouTube video today. I'm doing it. I've wanted to do it for so long. I convinced myself, wait, break. This is so funny. My mom sent me these Sesame Street Halloween stickers in the mail, and she said these are literally vintage. Like, they're from my childhood, and she found them in, I presume that she found them in her, like, Halloween decoration Rubbermaid box that she keeps in storage that, like, yeah, anyway, so cute. Ugh. So I had to put them in my planner, in my journal, in my planner journal, in my notebook, in my whatever this is. This is, if you're new here, a B6 Common Planner by Sterling Ink. It is a planner. It is my 2024 planner. I am going to be using it as a planner for sure. If you are unfamiliar with the Common Planner, it is similar to the Hobonichi Cousin in a lot of ways. There's a vertical weekly plan in this one, as well as like quarterly goal breakdown and like a year at a glance, monthly calendars, and then these undated daily pages. And so where the Hobonichi has these dated pages where you kind of, might, maybe, perhaps, feel pressure to journal every day, in the Common Planner, they are undated. So that was, I've said this before now, but maybe not on YouTube, definitely on TikTok. That was all the permission I needed to go ahead and move into my dailies because I was just feeling so uninspired in my A6. It served me well for over half a year and it was really getting chonky and I was just ready to move on. A question that I get every now and then still is like, but why not just wait? Like, it's not 2024 yet. Like, just do something else for 2 months. That's great if it works for you. I personally don't like having a bunch of half-filled notebooks, journals, planners, whatever. I would rather have less, but like really chunky filled up ones. I have been a little gremlin in my journal this entire week. It's been awesome. I filled up quite a few pages. I've loved taking the time to have slow mornings at my journaling desk with my coffee, playing music in the background, and just, yeah, soaking up the sunshine. Like, it's just been really nice. And I hope to do that over the next 2 mornings as well through the weekend to chat a little bit. Oh, there I'm doing my classic little fillers. We have plus signs or X's, we have stars, hearts, and then I probably will go in. This is the order that I do it every single time. I go in with little circles, and then I'll go in with dots. So the little circles, have a little bit of white space in between, and then dot, dot, dot. This is so funny. I did not watch these clips back really, before this voiceover situation. So this is really funny. Okay, looking at this page. Well, of course now, gosh. Should I go into my, oh no, I can't because I got to show you how I fix a mess up. I know that that's a big thing with y'all. Watch this. Check this out. Got the archival link out. Ooh, I'm going to use my perpetual calendar stamp. Yippee. So excited. Oh, man. Looks like I screwed up. What do I do? Tap, tap, tap. I'm going to make a little post dedicated to my best friend. She had a birthday last Friday, and I was just so excited to get into my journal to talk about my Colorado trip that started on her birthday that I glossed over her birthday, even though I printed these cute little pictures out, which are quite old. But I decided, what better time than now to stick them in anyway. So I feel like it would be fun to kind of talk a little bit about my Colorado trip. But I think because I'm, at least as long as I'm being consistent with it, I think I might do monthly flip throughs where I talk about the month. Right? Like, that could be kind of fun. I don't think I've ever really done something like that before. Oh, okay. And here's why I want to do that. I have filmed so many like yearly flip throughs, and then I want to go off on these tangents to like talk about, to go beyond the setup of the page and then talk about the content, which is great, but that makes for quite a long video, don't you think? I still will, of course, do yearly flip throughs because they're so satisfying. But I'm thinking for the time being, like, wouldn't it just be so nice to do a little monthly flip? Maybe I would feel less intimidated and like the task of posting a video feels less daunting. I've said this before, but I do, I am forever talking about how we have to let go of our perfectionism in this hobby, which I stand by, and I really do feel like I embody that. But then I get on YouTube and I'm like, okay, everything has to be perfect. I have to edit out my filler words when I am doing a voiceover. I have to make sure all the clips are coherent and I'm like the clips and what I'm talking about over the clips make perfect sense. Like, no, what if I just didn't, not that I didn't care, of course I care, but what if I just wasn't so rigid about everything? What if I just got on here and we just chit-chatted? The thing about it is that it's a whole lot of talking. I don't know if I'm cut out for a podcast because what would I even talk about? I'm sure I would find something. I'm kind of being silly. Oh, there we go. This perpetual stamp is so cool. Please don't ask me where it's from. No, you can. It is from Wonder Fair in Lawrence, Kansas. I picked it up on Monday night. But here's the thing. I swear I looked up and down for like an actual, a logo that I could read. It was in Japanese, I believe. I do not know where this is from. I mean, I got it at Wonder Fair, but beyond that, I can't help you. However, if you go to Google and search perpetual calendar stamp, that's what these are called, there are so many options that are super cute. And so I trust that you can find one that suits your fancy. But yeah, so fun. And then you just, you circle the month and then you circle the day of the week. And then you can write in or stamp in the date number there. Oh, here I am going in with a little gel pen. Sometimes I just have little mistakes, and so I'll go in with my little white gel pen. I also have, it's a Tombow, like, corrective tape, not liquid paper because it's not liquid. It's like a corrective roll, and I use that every now and then. You'll see. What do you say we get into some of these voiceover chats? It could be fun. First question. Do you ever deal with hand cramps from writing? I'm so used to typing that I'm a wimp. Honestly, I don't deal with hand cramps as much as the average bear, and I think that's because I do write a lot. You may have kind of answered your own question here, saying that you type a lot and therefore don't write, I'm assuming. And so I'm totally talking out of my left nostril here, but I do feel like just with what I know about muscle memory, like that might have something to do with it. And for you, what I would recommend is trying out a fountain pen if you haven't already. I feel like a fountain pen moment could be so fun for you. You don't have to apply as much pressure when you're writing, which might alleviate some of those hand cramping symptoms. So if you do try it, please let me know. And Kate, please come back, report back, tell us your findings. Silly little lists you want to make but haven't yet. I love this question/prompt, and there are so many, and they just simply have not come to me. Something about my silly little list that I just come up with and then post to Instagram. I'm not like, I don't know if no, you know what? Stop that, Claire. I'm very proud of them. I think that the way that my brain works, I'm not entirely sure what all goes on up there, but I am so comfortable in my journals and planners because I've been doing this since I was literally 6 years old that I do organically come up with a lot of original stuff that I'm proud to share. And so I do think that it's cool. The thing is that I don't know what I haven't come up with yet. Like anytime I want to, I'm trying not to get too heady here, but if I have thought about the list, I've made the list. And so the lists that I have yet to make, I've yet to think up. And I can't wait to see what happens in the next year. Something, this isn't, the most original thought I've ever had, but something that I want to do in my journal tomorrow, because today's Black Friday, is to talk about all of the things that I didn't buy. I have filled up several carts today and then have either X'd out, abandoned the cart, left the store, whatever, just today. And so I want to write about that. That's a silly little list, I would say, for sure. I didn't buy anything for Black Friday, and I'm not saying that if you did, there's, a moral failing that happened there. I just went into this day thinking that I didn't really want to spend a whole lot of money, and I was successful in that. So that's kind of cool. Why did my audio just get so good all of a sudden? This kind of is a great segue into another question, which is, what are you wanting to purchase either for your hobby or for, YouTube content creation this year? And I think my biggest thing, or at least for a while, it was to get a microphone. And then I was like, I convinced myself I didn't really need it because you could hear me fine on YouTube. I didn't need to spend the money. And then I was like, no, you know what? I want a crisp, nice microphone. I just honestly don't know what to get. And so I would love your guidance if you also create content on YouTube or have a microphone for whatever reason. I'd love to hear about it if you love it. So hit my line. Next question. How do I start when I don't have all the stuff and also I mostly can't get it? I'm just reading these as they were sent to me. So I'm going to make some assumptions here. I'm thinking this is, how do I start journaling when I don't have all the stuff that you believe that you need in order to have a successful journaling practice and you can't get it, either due to access monetarily or because of location, maybe? Am I right in that? Hopefully. But this is a great question, and I'm sure a common thought that people have. It's, if you see someone engaging in their hobby that they've invested some money into and you're just starting out and you're like, wait, whoa, I can't do all this. And where do I even start? What do I need, or what's just extra fluff? I would love to share with you some lower cost options. First of all, you can absolutely get just any old notebook. Truly, I know that I have these nice planners, journals, what have you, but if you're truly just starting off and you don't even know whether or not this is a practice that you will you will carry with you into the next season, or if it's just a quick hyperfixation, no judgment, but you can go to Walgreens and get a Mead notebook, which is what I used to do. Get a composition notebook if you want to put like fun vinyl stickers on the outside and you don't want to mess with spiral bound books, because I can't stand those myself. But you can go and get something that's $3, $5. Crayola Super Tips are going to be your best friend. Those are lower cost, and I prefer the Tombow dual brush pens for sure. I'm not going to lie to you, but the Crayola Super Tips in a big old pack, sometimes they go on sale at Target, Walmart. They're great. They're great quality, and so if you just get some ballpoint pens and then the Crayola Super Tips, use some pencils, use your own creativity, find like draw with me's on YouTube and add your own illustrations. You can thrift or see if your family members have any magazines. I love going through magazines and cutting out clippings. I do that often, and people are like, where do you get all your cool clippings? And it's like, magazines? Like, did we forget about magazines? Oh, here's a fun little goof up I had that I fixed. I did not realize that dual brush pen that I picked up was going to be that darker gray. And so I tried to fix it by putting a white jelly roll over it, but it just like wasn't turning out. And so I just found a little magazine clipping and decided to use that for like my errands section of my side quests, which if you're new here, side quests is basically just a to-do list, but with a little extra razzle dazzle, as I just said on my Instagram. It's more fun than just like, these are the things you have to do. And often, on my side quest list, I have things like play Neopets. It's not all like clean the bathroom, check your email, meal prep. It's like there's more fun that goes into a side quest list, at least in my world. Anyway, back to some low cost ideas to really zhuzh up your journaling practice. Something else that you can paste in there are found objects. And what I mean by that, and I would love to do a video on that if that's something you all would be interested in, but like truly, I put a wrapper from a bagel that I got in Denver in my journal. I cut it out and I pasted it in my journal. And I don't necessarily think that that's like the most wild and crazy thing that's ever happened ever, but some people might not think of that. And so I'm letting you know, like, I save tissue paper. I save museum maps. Like, just, you never know. A couple pages back in this journaling session, or the night before, I put in the wristband from the concert that I went to, just so I had, like, why throw it out? Like, let's just put it in the journal. You know what I mean? Ephemera. We're calling it ephemera. Don't you know? I am still stumped on whether I should get an A5 or a B6 for my 2024 planner. The struggle is real. Any tips? Oh my goodness. I feel like people are struggling with sizes this year. I feel like in years past, at least from my perspective, people didn't know whether they wanted like a certain cover or, what paper weight they enjoyed the best. But this year it seems like, I mean, every year I'm sure, but I'm hearing more and more about like what size. I think with the popularity lately of B6 and maybe people like getting back into rings, some people are like not as excited about their A5 or think that it might just be too big and they're looking for something a little smaller. And this entire week I've helped several friends, or tried to at least, with the whole sizing situation. And I really just think you have to play around. And I know that cost is of a concern. I know that time and energy, like, you don't want to be hanging around in an A6 just to find out that you hate it. But take it from me, someone who's been in an A5, an A6, and now a B6 in the past 12 months, you really just have to see how it feels. A lot comes down to personal preference, and I mean, sometimes it comes down to like what your handwriting's like. Like if your handwriting is too big, you're not going to enjoy an A6 because you're constantly feeling like you have to alter your handwriting in order to fit more than one coherent thought into one page. And it's very important for you to know that I'm talking about myself in this scenario. That's literally me. Like I like writing small. I think it's so cute, but that's not the real me. Now with A5, like some people like that negative space. They like a little white space every now and then. Some people, me, really like the idea of like a totally filled up page. So I don't know. I really wish that I had an answer. Okay, how cute is this? Coffee Monsters Co. washi with all the stationery. The Pentel Energel Clenna that's on there made me weep. Like I actually shed a tear. It's so cute. Final question. Hopefully I can answer it quickly because I'm running out of time. Oh, what will the A6 be for? Do you have a plan for it yet? Yes, I do. I'm obviously not showing it right now, so if this is your first encounter with me, we might be lacking a little context here, but I do have a Hobonichi Techo Original A6 that I am using for work. No deco, really truly just writing and maybe a rogue highlighter every now and then. I am keeping it super functional, and that is so I can use this as my creative journal and my creative space. I'm happy to share a little bit more of my setup later, but I think the one that you'll be seeing most often is this B6 Common Planner. All right, I'll see y'all later. I am out of time now. Let me know what else you want to see. Bye.